Hello and welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute-a-day podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse, recorded here in the dining room of the Bible Bistro, located in Sharonville, Ohio. Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. This is your home for artisanal Bible study that is fresh and delicious, free of MSG and GMOs. Right here, this is Daily Dose Radio. Today we're looking at verses 6 and 7 in Psalm 110. And of course, Daily Dose Radio, all we do here is study the Psalms verse by verse. Yesterday we looked at verse 5. That kind of sets the theme for the end of the psalm, because when he strikes through the kings in the day of his wrath, Revelation 19:19 is reflected again here in verses 6 and in verse 7. So in verse 6 and 7, let me read those for us. He shall judge among the heathen. He shall fill the places with the dead bodies. He shall wound the heads over many countries. He shall drink of the brook in the way. Therefore he shall lift up the head. So he's going to wound heads and he's going to lift up heads. We'll talk about that, the contrast that's created there between those two. He shall judge among the heathen. Of course, that is part of his mandate, that he is going to judge. And he's going to be the one that judges. And so part of the mandate is his judging among the heathens. And he shall fill the places with dead bodies. Again, Revelation chapter 19, when Christ comes forth with his armies, he will fill places with dead bodies. That's what's going to happen. As a matter of fact, at the end of that passage that I read yesterday, in chapter 19, it said, the foul are going to be filled with the flesh of those that are slain on the day of that battle. So we understand that that's going to happen. He shall wound heads over many countries. That is, those heads that, refuse him, that refuse God's way and God's law and so forth. He's going to wound the heads over many countries. But it says there in 7, he shall lift up the head. So whose head's he going to lift up? Well, his own, because it says he's going to drink by the brook in the way. He's going to lift up the head. But also, I think it means, the heads of those that have been oppressed by those that are over the countries. So he's going to be lifting up the downtrodden, the poor, the needy. Those are the ones that are crying out to him. Those are the ones that are going to be delivered by him. And I just have to say that verse 7, he shall drink the brook in the way, reminds me, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, reminds me of Judges chapter 7. You remember when Gideon took his army down to the brook, and he had to get rid of a bunch of them. And God said, take them down there to the brook, and let's watch them drink. And so the people, they went down to the brook, and some of them got down on their hands and knees and lapped up the water like a dog. And then some of them got down on their knee and scooped the water up in their hand, and they never looked down. They never put their face in the water. They were always looking up, ready for the battle. And those 300 were the ones that went into battle. It wasn't the great army. It was just 300 men. Only 300 men that, dipped their hand in the brook and took a drink. Yeah, that's all. The rest of them were so beaten down. They were so discouraged. They were so afraid that they would get down on their face in fear that the Midianites would see them. So they were not going to reveal themselves. But the other man, they had one hand on the sword and the other hand in the water, and they were ready for battle. So I wonder if this doesn't speak something to that Christ ready for battle to lift up the head of those who are downtrodden, those who couldn't drink like a normal man. He's ready to help them out, to reveal to them his way, to save them from those who are over the many countries. His judgment is going to release them from their oppression, just like, ladies and gentlemen, he does. When the angel said to Joseph, you will name him Jesus because he will save his people from their sins. He's done that for us, hasn't he? How wonderful. And he will lift up many heads. Well, join me again next week. We're going to look at Psalm 111 here on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. For more fresh and delicious Bible studies, podcasts, books, and more, check out the Bible Bistro online and on YouTube. Join me again next time for Daily Dose Radio.